The Miami-Dade Herald is reporting that on the Palmetto Expressway in Miami, Florida, just south of Debbie Wasserman Schultz's district, drivers and police officers were met with a barrage of gunfire early Monday morning from a man firing off an AK-47 pistol from inside his car. This is how the story goes. Jorvin Ruiz, 30 years old, was headed southbound around Northwest 71st Street in a burgundy Toyota Corolla at about 1:20 a.m. when he began firing at passing cars, said Miami-Dade Police Detective Daniel Farron. 2 vehicles were hit and 1 man sustained a minor head injury after being struck by debris. The man drove himself to Kendall Regional Medical Center. A total of 8 people are listed as victims in the shooting. Video obtained by the Miami Herald shows an injured man being treated for a head wound by Miami-Dade Fire Rescue following the shooting. The man was lying beside a black car marked by a bullet hole. After losing control of his car and crashing into a median, police say that Ruiz turned his car around and started driving northbound into oncoming traffic. He again veered into a concrete barrier and then turned his aim to approaching Miami-Dade police officers, Doral police officers, and Florida Highway Patrol troopers. Mr. Ruiz exchanged gunfire with a Miami-Dade police officer but eventually surrendered. Hours after the incident, at about 9 a.m., the suspect's car and several other police vehicles remained on the expressway. As a matter of fact, they shut that shit down. Bullet holes riddled the front and back windshield of the man's car, and the front bumper hung from the car's frame. Many shots were fired, so it's a very extensive scene. Police do not know if the suspect, who was detained and is being questioned by detectives, was involved in a dispute with another person or if he was firing at random. Yet, he exchanged gunfire with officers. He was obviously hightailing it somewhere. Detective Farron said it was miraculous that the shooting didn't lead to more injuries. And, of course, he attributed that to the quick response of these officers putting their lives at risk for the community. Let's watch.
And then by the time we tried to, start to approach him or whatever, and then we started hearing the gunshots. I mean, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We don't really know what's the deal with it, what happened, but it was, back and forth, back and forth. This guy was battling with somebody else over some gunshots. We got this young lady over here that her car got shot. Three bullets went through her car, and one actually almost went right behind her head. I mean, it was like inches away. Wow. So are you the person that shot this vehicle? Do you know that? No, I've got no idea. I have nothing to do with this. We just on the way home from a little party, and we ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time. Wow. So that was your vehicle shot? No, thank God we didn't. Hers was, and she was right there. She was the vehicle right before me, so it was just my luck. Wow. Luck that we didn't get anything out of it, and I thank God for that. So you still tell us what the shooter looked like? Huh? What the shooter looked like? No, I didn't see anything. I didn't see the shooter. I didn't see anything. I just saw the car and I saw the gunshots. You can see the light from the gunshot. Okay. You can see the where the gunshots were coming from, but I didn't see anybody's face. I didn't see much. How do you feel about seeing all this craziness right here? Miami, brother. Welcome to Miami. It's not gonna get any better. It's gonna get worse. So welcome to Miami, man.
Well, here we have an AK-47, and as you can see in that video, an officer was holding, appearing to be a Glock. I also wanted to point out that January 30th, 2017, the Orlando Centennial is telling us that a Tavares police officer had an AR rifle stolen from his marked patrol car overnight Sunday. The officer, who wasn't identified, parked his patrol car in his own driveway of his home, and then they go on to identify him by giving out his address. I don't agree with that. But moving right along, woke up Sunday to find his windows smashed and the AR missing. They pried a short-barreled AR rifle out of his gun lock. Also out there in Florida, the night before, an Orlando SWAT officer had his vehicle, along with a load of equipment, stolen. The police did recover the unmarked patrol vehicle, but say a UMP 45 caliber submachine gun, 4 loaded magazines for the gun, a helmet, and 2 magazines for a handgun are still missing. They're encouraging anyone with any information in either of those incidents to call the crime line at 1-800-423-8477. And I'm encouraging anyone to do so as well, because with all the false flags, mass shootings happening out there in Florida lately, we need to watch each other's citizens and officers alike watch each other's back, because that's not cool that 2 consecutive nights these weapons were taken from these officers' vehicles. You know that whoever did it is up